Welcome into another edition of SC Checks In, presented by First Texoma National Bank. We've got the head baseball coach, Coach Zach Crabtree, with us. Coach Crabtree, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just enjoying this beautiful weather for January the 5th. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I know. You might have some guys out there in shorts and T-shirts today.
Well, they'd like to be. Now, it was a little bit chilly this morning at 9:30, but now it's beautiful right now.
So you guys are in your championship segment practices, so you guys are going twice a day. We just want to check in, see how things are going with you and how things went in the fall. I know we had a lot of unique challenges that actually really started last March, and then we kind of transitioned into the fall. So we'll just kind of start there, during baseball season, and I'm not going to get into the details of what happened and everything, but obviously everything got canceled and everybody got sent home, and we had a shortened season. What was it like being able to be with the team the first time in the fall?
It was great. Just the relationships and being with those guys on a daily basis. And when you have that taken away from you, you're missing something. And so getting to see those guys on a daily basis, getting to see them excel and improve and get better and helping them grow as young men, not only on the baseball field, but just in the classroom, in the weight room, in the community, and trying to build great fathers and husbands is one of the things we tell guys when we recruit them. And just getting to interact with them on a daily basis and see what's going on with them. You miss that whenever you're rolling along there in season, all of a sudden this thing comes along and everybody gets sent home. And so to get back on the field this fall and to get to see guys on a daily basis and work and get better and try to improve our program, get back to where it once was. And, it's just, it's kind of a relief too, because there's so much unknown, even starting the fall, what's going to happen, how, is there going to be an outbreak, or how's it going to work? It's just so much uncertainty, not only in our program, but across the country and everything, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, everyday work, elementary school. I got a son that's in elementary school and daughters that are in high school. Just day to day's been different every day. You don't know what to expect. And so you just got to kind of roll with the punches, but getting the guys back on campus and getting into some sort of normalcy and routine and something that they get up and look forward to and getting to interact. Last semester we interacted through Zoom and through phone calls with our guys when the season ended, but getting to see them face to face and fist bump. There's not a lot of hugging and that kind of stuff, but just getting to interact and being able to talk and see facial expressions and body language and that kind of stuff is just, it's what coaches get in this profession for. Wins and losses are great, and we want to win every game, but it's about the relationships. And when you're not getting to coach on a daily basis, you're missing something, why you got into this profession. So.
Well, you talk about the team and a lot of people didn't realize this, we had football practice going on and all that during the time, but we really hosted the first event with the Fall World Series, being able to do that. And we had some great partners at Mix 96 that actually streamed that and allowed people to watch the games, which was fantastic. And I think that went really, really well. And I know our parents and our players certainly enjoyed it, being able to compete. And talk about that a little bit, being able to actually go out there and go live against, they're still the same teammates, but you still got to pitch it, throw it, and hit it.
For sure. The Fall World Series this year was a little different because we live streamed, but it was also different because it's the first time that we actually put on different uniforms and went against each other. Normally in the fall, you get 3 competition dates against outside competition, which we normally use to play junior colleges, but you're competing against somebody else, not just yourself. And this year, since that was taken away, we decided to do the Fall World Series a little bit different. We always wear different uniforms, that kind of stuff, but with Mix 96 jumping on board and helping live stream everything, and Bob coming up and doing play-by-play. And, we had umpires, and we tried to make it as much game-like as we could possibly make it, and have parents be able to watch from home and have everybody be able to get involved and then compete against someone else. They had their own practices. They had, our assistant coaches handled the staffs and handled the teams and did the draft. And, we just try to make it as big as we could possibly make it for our student athletes, because they've been through so much, going through, missing the season. No matter if you were here, Division I, high school, junior college, or everybody's season got cut short last year. So to be able to do that, and I think everybody involved, from you guys helping out and doing the draft and live streaming it, that was pretty fun. We'd never done that before. That's something we had talked about, and this year we got to do it, and I thought it was a hit, followed by streaming all the Fall World Series games and getting those guys to get out there and compete. And we played for something. We didn't get to do it because, we shut down, but we normally play a steak and hot dog series. The winners get steaks and the losers get hot dogs that night. And we haven't got to do that yet, but get to watch them compete and go against a different uniform and have umpires out there, not your guys calling balls and strikes. It was a lot of fun, and it was good for our guys to get out there and do that as well.
Well, and I'm sure too, it was nice to be able to go play. And you said you split the staffs. You didn't do any coaching at all. You were in the press box the whole time, and you just let the kids go play. And so that's also a different and a unique thing, because there, you get acclimated to the everyday practice and how that is. But I'm sure just them going out and playing and it be like a real game environment where, the head coach isn't really there to help stop and start, and he's just up observing. I'm sure that they enjoyed that, just to be able to go out and play. And that's more of a true game feel, and you're up there taking notes on things, because I know you're evaluating where we're going to be.
Yes.
And then, obviously you mentioned the draft. I thought that was a unique thing to stream the draft and let parents check in and our fans check in. That's something that was unique and great. And I know we got our president involved. He actually announced the first picks, and we got other people involved, and that was a nice touch. And it was a good week of Southeastern athletics and baseball. The bad thing was it made you crave more. You wanted more once it was done. So you mentioned, you split the staff and you had your coaching staffs go against each other. Talk about your staff right now. I know they don't, during baseball season, it's usually starts right when basketball season's going on. And I know sometimes it gets a little overshadowed. Talk about your coaching staff.
We've got two guys who've been with us from day one since I've been here. Coach Traylor came with me as a graduate assistant and finished his master's, and hired him as our assistant coach. And then Coach Casillas actually came to play baseball and decided to get into coaching. He wanted to coach. So he never played here, but he wanted to be a coach. We stayed on as a student assistant, now as a GA. So both those guys, this is their fourth year here in the program. So they're just as invested as I am. Coach Traylor, is a tireless worker. He works on the field nonstop. He really beats the bushes recruiting wise, always on the phone, willing to go wherever to find guys for us, and has done a good job. And then Coach Sis is just a young guy kind of learning the ropes, but is here and does whatever we ask of him and has made great strides. He's going to be a really good coach. He's going to finish up with his master's this May, and he wants to be a head high school baseball coach. And I think that he's going to do a great job with that. He works with our catchers and coaches first base for us. And then Coach Traylor, back to him, he works with our outfielders and works with our hitters individually, and coaches third base for us. And so those guys are guys that I trust a lot, been here, like I said, are just invested as I am here, and have worked really hard the past 4 years to help us improve facilities and get to helping us get to where we need to be and want to be. And then Coach Kyle Cliff is our pitching coach. He's his second year here with us, and he's done a great job handling the pitchers. It's one thing that I found out early in my career is you need a pitching coach that studies pitching and works with pitchers, because it's not like the old days when I played, when you just had one coach or maybe a GA and you got out there and pitchers through one bullpen here and there. Those guys spend a lot of time working on their mechanics and their delivery and their arm strength and recovery. Games change. And so it's important to have a pitching coach that handles those guys, because some of those guys are fragile and need a little more attention than hitters. So, so Coach Cliff has done a really good job with us, and we're excited about what he brings to us. And so this is the first time since I've been here that we've brought our whole staff back. And so we're excited about having the continuity not having to learn, someone new learn what we're trying to do. So we're real excited with our staff. They all work hard, and and they're good people, which is better than being good baseball coaches. So they're really good people. So.
Well, I know they're workers because when things got shut down and you're around and you also we'd get bored and I'd go walk around campus on a Tuesday, Sunday, whatever day it was, and I felt like somebody was always out working on the field doing something. And I don't know if I'm sure that was an escape to be able to do something and feel like you're being productive, because I know recruiting completely changed during all this. Normally
sure.
you all are out in the summer recruiting, and recruiting never stops, especially in baseball, because it's a year-round sport at a lot of places. And so we'll kind of transition to that. How did you all manage to recruit from April till now? What have you all been doing? Getting kids, going out. What have you all been up to?
Well, recruiting has changed dramatically, especially last year when everything got shut down, because there were no games to go watch. There weren't any games being played. And then summer ball started back up, but we're still in a dead period, so we couldn't go out, with NCAA. And so we had to really rely on a lot of people that you trusted, coaches at the junior college level, summer league coaches that you trust, and high school coaches, and really, go after guys that fit what we were needing and fit what we were wanting to do here. And, I'm very pleased with the young men we brought in as far as the student athlete that they are. I thought that it was our best recruiting class so far. And with it being under the circumstances that we were in, it was just a big plus for us. But I felt like we've made some great strides and really got guys that we went after, and we're excited. We had some guys that had been at Division I schools and had bounced back to some junior colleges that we were able to get. We had some guys that were straight junior college, and then we had some high school guys that we got that we think are going to make some big impacts on our program. Not necessarily, maybe not this spring, but over 4 or 5 years, they're going to be really big contributors to our program. But recruiting was tough because as coach, you're always wanting to get out and see guys, and you can watch film of guys, but I like watching their body language whenever they're pitching and the shortstop boots a ground ball, or how they handle that, or if they don't get a pitch, they throw a breaking ball on a 2-2 pitch and the umpire misses it. How does that pitcher react? Or if the hitter's up there and he gets a bad call on him, how does he? I like looking at the body language, how they interact with their teammates, and how they prepare in between innings, how they hustle, and those kind of things. And you don't see those things on film because they only put on film what they want you to see.
Right.
So you miss some of those things, but you got to really trust guys that you've built relationships with over the years, and in times like these. And like I said, we're very pleased with the class that we brought in. And the good thing is we had some seniors coming back that were we had a lot of guys coming back that played a lot of innings for us.
Right.
And we had some seniors that we got back because of the COVID. And so that kind of shrinked what we were needing to bring in because we had those guys coming back. So we didn't need to get as many guys. And that being said, we probably have as many guys in the program right now that there's ever been in the on a Southeastern roster in the spring. And I think it's that way across the country, though, from junior college all the way up to Division I. The roster sizes are going to be bigger because of people getting their year back. And I think we need them because we don't know what the future holds, with the contact tracing and those kind of things. You're going to need bigger numbers to get through the spring. And so we're excited with what we've got. Like I said, I think it's the most talented group that we've had in my 4 years here. We're just trying to get back to the standards that were set through the history and the great tradition of Southeastern baseball. And we have not done that, but I felt like we've made steps. And I felt like last year, we lost some guys late in the fall and then a couple of early injuries in the spring. And we kind of finally found our footing there late. And then this season gets shut down. And so I'm excited about where we're at and where we're going. And we've got a lot of guys that played a lot of innings last year. We got a lot of guys that made great impacts on the junior colleges that they were at or where they're at. So we're excited about the team we got. We just got to go out and stay healthy and see what happens. You know, I know everybody else is going to be probably better than they were last year too, because they get guys back. And so we're just excited to hopefully get this thing going and get out and get to compete against somebody.
I'm definitely ready for some Southeastern baseball, softball, volleyball. I mean, I'm ready for everybody to get rolling. You know, this is our life. It's a lifestyle. And so
For sure.
it's exciting when there's a lot of stuff going on. You kind of hit what I was going to bring up, your team. You got a bunch of new faces. For those that didn't know, the NCAA allowed the seniors that would have exhausted their eligibility to come back because their season was cut short. So we've got a big roster. We've got a lot of old faces that are good players, and we got a lot of new faces. So I'm super excited about what it's going to look like here in the next couple of weeks. You know, another thing that I don't think gets talked about enough is the kids in the fall and how resilient they were, because it was different every single day. No matter if it was basketball, football, baseball, softball, volleyball, it doesn't matter. The environment literally changed every single day, whether someone had to miss practice because of contact tracing, or practice had to be moved, or things like that had to happen. You know, people had to adjust and adapt and overcome. And, you know, your kids did a fantastic job, you know, adjusting and just, okay, this is what we got to do. We'll do it, you know? And so I don't think that's said enough, that these kids are super resilient, and they adjusted as things came up throughout the fall to be able to just to have a full non-championship segment.
Oh, and we talked about that in our first team meeting yesterday, that I thought we did a great job as a program, as an athletic department, as a university. But I was extremely proud of our guys because we made it through the whole fall. You know, we went through our whole segment of not having to shut down. And we had a guy here or there get quarantined, or a guy here that or there that got it. But as a whole, we stayed healthy, and we did what we had to do as far as socially distancing, wearing our masks, being smart, not only on campus, but it's a tough time for these college age students. Life is different. It's not the typical college life that anybody had from last fall on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. You don't get to socialize. You don't get to go out. There's not basketball games to go to on Saturday and Tuesdays and Thursdays. And there's not, it's just completely different. And for these guys and young ladies that are student athletes, and what they have had to go through and what they're having to do, is remarkable. It just shows, like you said, their resiliency. Takes a lot of self-discipline. We're just talking about practice. We're not talking about when their classes would get shut down, have to continue studying in a new way that you haven't ever learned before. There's some people that hadn't had online classes, that they went from basically being in class to all of a sudden their class got switched over to online for a little while, or virtual, and that's tough on these students, especially student athletes that are still getting up and going to weights, coming to practice, and then having to do their studies and not knowing when your weight time's it's just,
right.
It's just remarkable that all these student athletes here and across the country that have made these sacrifices and adjustments to continue to be able to play the sport that they love. And I was extremely proud of our guys, what they did, and to maintain, like I said, we got all the way through our fall, got our fall World Series in. And so I was, extremely proud of them. And I told them it's going to take that same self-discipline and that same desire and drive to be able to keep playing, because, it's still the same. We still got to socially distance and wear a mask and wash your hands and make good decisions away from the field and away from campus, just like we are on, to continue to be able to play, because it's still, till everybody has an opportunity to get the vaccine and get some sort of normalcy back to life. We're still going to have to, these guys and young ladies are going to have to be disciplined to maintain. And I think they will, because they've all had something taken away from them. You look back and all the way to bat. At this point, every student athlete's had something taken away from them, from basketball last year in playoffs till spring football to baseball, softball, track, golf, and then this fall, football, and volleyball, and now basketball starting late. So everybody that's a student athlete has had something taken away from them. And so hopefully they know and they want to get that back. So they got to maintain their self-discipline and do what they have to do as far as socially distancing and, washing our hands and taking care of ourselves and being smart that way as well.
Well, you find out how committed these kids are to their craft because, like you said, I don't think it's said enough that these kids made championship decisions all throughout the fall because it's easy to sit there and say, man, I'm bored. I don't have anything to do. I've been locked in my apartment, in the dorms. All I get to do is practice. It's just practice. It's not the season. Me and 7 other guys are going to go down the road to Choctaw. And then, at that point, say, they got a quarantine and then it turns into being shut down. So these kids made championship decisions because they're committed to athletics and academics at Southeastern. And so, we had that across the board. And so it's, like I said, they don't get enough credit for making those decisions because I know how I was when I was their age. You know what I'm saying? No. We all were there, and
we were all there. And there's also the unknown. And you could be doing this and the season still get. I mean, basketball did not know for sure. I mean, there's still a lot of unknown and you're having to be self-disciplined, just hoping you get to compete. Because there's still some, a lot of unanswered stuff. Now we're scheduled to do everything, and God willing, everything works out and we get to play, and that's why we're preparing and doing things. But these guys are having to have, and girls are having to have faith and that everything's going to work out, and they're having to do what they're supposed to do in times that are not normal, because normally you're going to start playing on February 5th.
They could have easily said, what am I practicing for?
Yeah.
Sure. So no, I don't think they get enough credit. They they made championship decisions because they're committed to playing, and that's awesome to be able to say that these young people are making. Those are hard decisions. They are, because you only get a certain amount of years in college, and so those are very, very challenging decisions. So that's pretty much the fall right there. The positives and all that. Everybody was committed, and we got to actually play some World Series games and got to see a preview of Southeastern baseball. We got the spring coming up. What are y'all doing right now? You said you practiced this morning. What do y'all got going on?
Oh, we opened up our first practice this morning, and we couldn't have asked for any better weather. It was a little chilly during stretching, but the sun kept coming up and you kept moving around. It was warm. Matter of fact, the hoodies came off and you're just in long sleeve shirts, and got a lot of good BP in this morning, and got to go home, have a lunch break, and we're going to come back and work on some individual and some team defenses this afternoon and just try to prepare. We got a little bit of time here before classes start on next Monday. And so we're going to try to take advantage of it and get as much in, especially with the weather, because, spring weather is so unpredictable. We got days like this. The guys want to be out at the park, and so we're going to take advantage of it and try to get ready. Got everything going towards February the 5th. And so we can get ready and open up and be the best version of ourselves we can be, and hopefully win a lot of baseball games this spring and compete for a conference championship and an NCAA regional berth. And that's our goals. That's our goals every year. But I'm, like I told you earlier, I'm really excited about this group. I know everybody's excited this time of year. And you can't, we're all undefeated and all our goals are in front of us. But I've been doing this now. This will be my 11th year. And when you think you got a good squad, and when you think you're just hoping you have a good squad, and if we can stay healthy, and it all, pitching's what counts, and is going to win you lots of games. You're going to win some games offensively here and there, but pitching for the main part is going to win you championships. And if we can stay healthy on the mound, and we're really excited about what we've got and the character of young men that we have that want to go out and compete and represent us in the right way and do the things the way we want to. So we're really, really excited about where we're at and where we're going. And, so we're just trying to get better every day, and in every practice we've got a goal is not to take a rep off. We're trying to do some things different in practice to socially distance, just to prepare for any uncertainty. If they're, I would think kind of like a football team, you don't want your quarterback room or your receiver room for somebody to be in there and test positive, and you have to quarantine the whole group. So we're trying to do some things differently in practice, where we're separating positions and not have 4 guys standing at home plate doing catching drills. And so, we're just trying to be a little smarter and a little more creative with what we're doing in practice and socially distancing, just so we can prepare for the unexpected and keep all our guys as healthy as possible.
I'll say this because, we talked about recruiting, and this is kind of a big deal that a lot of people don't realize. I know who we recruit against, and a lot of those schools are north, more north than us. Not a lot of schools get to be able to be in the sun like we are today with nice weather in January. That's for sure.
No doubt. We got finished with practice this morning, and I told our guys, I said, hey, if you're not excited about this weather, we'll be hoping for this February 5th. If we can get this kind of weather February 5th and through the month of February and March, it'll be a blessing. So you don't get many days like this in January or February or March. They're far and few between. So we're going to take advantage of it. And it honestly, it's just great to be back out at the ballpark. The sun's shining, the ryegrass, some striped grass, and we got the lines painted, and just being out here hearing the gloves pop and the bats crack and hearing some chatter. It's just awesome. It's why we do it, and to see these guys getting to interact and do things on the field is a lot of fun, and just rewarding to sit back and watch them go and get better, especially with what they've worked through the past 10 months.
Yep. So. Well, and I was going to say this, I know a lot of schools right now are starting practice and they're playing catch in a basketball gym because they can't even get outside. Some of those schools that are more north than us. And we'll kind of transition into that. I know we had a lot of change starting last January to now on our campus with some facility stuff. Talk about the new weight room that we've got, how that's helped when you bring recruits in, and really our current student athletes being able to work out in a place that's double the size and of what they used to work out in, and all new state-of-the-art equipment with an indoor in there where they can go do things inside that they normally have not been able to do. Yeah,
correct. The weight facility is amazing. It's nice, and it's got all the bells and whistles. When you walk in and you see it, and it's got the wow factor. It has every single thing that we need, from weights to different bars, to different apparatus, whatever you need in strength and conditioning training, we have it in there. And so that's been really good. We did the video and been able to share that with recruits now, but when people get to come in and see it, they're just in awe of how nice it is. And and then it has all our branding on it everywhere, which is really cool. It's not just some black weights in there. It's got our stuff on there. And so it's been beneficial for recruiting, showing people that and letting them see it. Also, the video to guys that haven't been on campus yet really gets them excited about coming and seeing it. And for our guys and student athletes, it's been really good. They all get in there at one time. They're not piled up. They get to spread out and get their work in. And Coach Fear's doing a great job, and his staff with our team. And we're actually going to get our first lift in this afternoon after practice for this spring. And so the guys are excited about getting back in there. Like anything, we have something that nice and new, you ready to get in there and get after it a little bit, And so, but on the other thing, your student athletes have to be dedicated and eager to get in and get better, and work. And because no matter how nice it is, if you don't get in there and use it, And so I've been really proud of the work our guys put in. We worked out 4 days a week in the fall in there with Coach Fears, and we went at 5:45 a.m. and we had one miss all fall. And one guy be late. And so that tells you something about the character of the guys that we've got, and then wanting to get in there and use the facility. And I think all our student athletes across campus have been excited and have really got in there and taken advantage of what we've been able to offer them in that facility, And so that's just outstanding by our university and by our alumni and our donors and our friends of Southeastern Athletics to help us get that and make it a reality instead of a dream. Because I was here, you were here, we didn't have anything like that.
No, we didn't.
And there's a lot of schools across the country that doesn't have anything like that. And so it's a blessing that we have that. It's great for not only our current student athletes, but it should help all of us in recruiting and getting future Savage Storms here on campus.
Well, we'll kind of transition and close with that. I appreciate, you got practice this afternoon weights. I appreciate you sitting down and taking some time just to talk to us about how things have been going. Coach is in his 4th year. What else? What else did I miss that you want to say? The floor is yours.
I just, first off, want to thank, to go off what we just said about all the alumni. I mean, we've made some great transitions here at Mike Matheny Field the last 4 years. We could not have done that without alumni and donors and friends of the program. And then again, with the weight room as well. We've had great administration from Coach Baxter to Miss Wilmot to you to, our training staff, all the way up to presidents and just great support that have led us through these challenging times. And for us to keep continuing building, we're going to have continue to have that support from everybody, from the alumni, friends of the program, administration, everybody's helped Southeastern athletics grow. I think we're in a good place, and we're continuing to get better, not only here in the baseball program, but across the athletic department. It's exciting to be here. It's exciting to be a part of some change across the athletic facilities, improvements. And then also with the tradition that we have here at Southeastern across the board in athletics is second to none. And in our conference or in NCAA Division II, I would say if you go across the board in every athletics that we got, I don't think that there's anybody that has better tradition across the board, have won more than we have, and including baseball. And we look forward to getting back to competing for championships like we have in the past. And like we talked to our guys yesterday about dogpiling. You want to end, when I was at the junior college, you had 3 opportunities to dogpile, one in the regional tournament, one in the super regional, one at the World Series. And if you can dogpile once, it's a great year. If you can do 2, it's amazing. And number 3, you're the best. And so we want to try to get back to, determining the success of our season by how many dogpiles we get to have. And so that's what kind of we're shooting for. And we look forward to dogpiling really soon.
I would definitely enjoy that. I've been a part of a few of those here, and they are very fun to be a part of. That's for sure. So, well, Coach, like I said, I appreciate you taking time today, sitting down. You're busy. Like you said, we've had tremendous support from our alumni, Southeastern baseball alumni, donors for things we've been able to do at the field, the weight room, turf room, volleyball gym. I mean, we're enhancing our student athlete experience every single day. And so, like you said it best, we've got great support, and we're trying to grow that support to where we can take it to the next level and dogpile a few times in different sports. That's for sure. So we're super excited about that. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time, and I want to say thanks again to First Texoma National Bank for being the presenting partner of our SC Check-In. Like I said, we don't know what it's going to look like in the spring with fans, no fans, but we've got the best baseball and softball streaming partners in the region. So make sure you hit up GoSoutheastern.com to check out some games, because you will be wowed with the product that we put on the field and our streaming product for sure. We're looking forward to an exciting season of Southeastern baseball.
Thank you. Go Storm.